I'm Nancy Sheed of Sheed Communications. I have the wonderful, amazing, zestful, brilliant, ever so wise and sage Michelle Garside of Soul Camp Creative. She's a brand strategist. And now I want to dive into your amazing process of literally like pulling a brand out of someone. And I say that as somebody who is fortunate to work with you. Nobody has yet seen your brilliance in action. We haven't gotten there, but you know, your email comes zinging through and it's like, anybody interested in a brand breakthrough? And your process was so different, and the deliverable was great. So that's all I'm going to say, Michelle, walk us through what a brand breakthrough is and kind of who it's for and how it works, because it's such a clever, useful, as you said, foundation and tool.
Yeah. So in the brand breakthrough, we create the foundation of the brand. So everything that I just said before, who you are, who you're for, what we're calling you, what your tagline is, what your hashtag is, what your homepage copy, how this brand speaks and feels, the personality of this brand, the messages that this brand uses, what the type of things that you can post on social media, your website outline, what we're calling your speaking topics, just all of that foundational upfront work of like, this is who you are. And then that will inform any designer that is making a logo for you, or any photographer who's doing a photo shoot for you, or any social media, activator who's doing posts for you on social. It's the blueprint, it's the footprint, it's the foundation of who you are. It happens in a 2-hour session. It used to be 3 hours. Before that, it was 4 hours. But over the last 11 years, I got it down to 2 hours. And when I was in corporate, this would take a year. Truly, it would just take so long. And I always—
so many people involved, so many
people. But yeah, it's a magical process. It's 2 hours. And basically, what I do is I really just guide you through a process in our talk, where I'm able to really hear how you talk about what you do in a different way, and put it together in a way that you might not be able to on your own. And then you receive that full output. It's about 6 or 7 page, Word document, blueprint, within a few days, within 48 hours. And then either you can go and bring that to life on your own and implement that in a Squarespace site. You could have our agency do that for you, but it's the starting point. It's the step one. It's the foundation.
And it's so beautifully put. But I think what's also important, Michelle, is what it's not, right? Like, it isn't a logo design. You're not walking away with, what everybody sort of also, I think, gets confused in terms of branding. You're not walking away with fonts, and you're not walking away with colors. And I don't mean to highlight what you're not getting, because the work that you do is so key to define all of those other pieces. But you also don't have to go do that to still be able to use the foundation that you create, right? Like you and I talked about, what if you just want to have a new lead gen piece or call to action on your website, right? And you've given those tools. Or, what if you're working just on your bio across all of your profiles? You've given that, right? Like, it's just such a key piece to which everything else can launch.
To everything. And listen, I have a branding agency, right? So we have a team of designers to create beautiful logos, but I would never want my team to create a beautiful logo without the strategy. Like, that will be the first question that they ask me is, who is she? Who is she for? What does she stand for? What's her platform? What's the bigger why? What is the tone of the brand? What is the feel of the brand? What do we want her audience to feel? That informs everything. So people think, when they think of branding, they think like, I really need a rock star logo. And then I ask them like, okay, so tell me about this logo. Why this color? Why this font? Why this? And because I like it. But everything matters, right? Like the that we use, the colors that we use, the photography style that we use, the imagery that we use, it all psychologically impacts our consumer. So there needs to, from my perspective, there needs to be strategy behind that. Otherwise, you're just another beautiful logo. You're just another beautiful website, and you're not going to get the people that you need. You're not going to get the audience that you want. You're not going to get the book deal that you're desiring without a solid foundation in place.
Right. And also, I think people just go in and do one part, right? And then, and I've had this experience because I've learned the hard way why you need a brand is you're just constantly making it up as you go along. and then it ends up being completely inconsistent, or it doesn't resonate, or you started with this book and then this book is slightly different. And to your point, you miss the umbrella under which this, either the foundation or the umbrella, right? Yeah. That brings it all together. So somewhere in one of your bios, I saw you write, and I don't know where I picked this up, you said names, taglines, and brand vocabularies are your personal jam. For those people who aren't familiar, I mean, we're gonna take a little bit of a process, like, what does that look like to somebody you might work with on a brand breakthrough, right? Like, how are those different? Somebody might say those all sound the same to me.
Yeah. So your tagline, right, is like as soon as someone sees you on stage, it's the way that you introduce yourself. So like, I just created a brand, Unexpected Truth, and she'll, introduce herself. Hi, I'm Jessica Jane of Unexpected Truth, right? Like, so that's the brand, right? And then from a messaging standpoint, I'm here to shed light in the shadows and bring forward the truth in every area. Right? Like that's more messaging, right? Messaging also from a brand of Unexpected Truth is like, the different plays on the words around expected and unexpected, expect and unexpecting. Same as like different things like the truth is, let's get to the, just that's messaging, right? So, and everything is different. I have a client who I just spoke to. Her name is Brooke. Brooke, if you're watching, hi. Who's very like, honey, I'm going to tell you like it is. Her messaging is very, very different than someone who's much more like, it's time to cultivate awareness, right? Like those are two different, and it gives you a very different feeling of the brand. That's messaging. And vernacular is more like the words you use. So I have a client, her brand is all about like the electricity of, she's a spark plug, fire plug. And so the vernacular that we use is all about catalyst, plug in, light the fire, the crackle, it's like words that allude to this feeling of sparking something.
I love it. And I think, again, for those, when we're working with our authors or our experts who are so into their content, right, and that expertise, that brand vocabulary, when you bring it in, makes it much easier to talk about themselves in what feels like an authentic way versus a schlocky, salesy, do you know what I mean? Like an uncomfortable way. So I think also that's one of the values of that brand work is it gives people a comfortable and aligned and authentic space in which it's much easier for them to operate from.